Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to my garage. Today we're going to go over this new to me ARE commercial truck topper I picked up used on Facebook Marketplace. I'm going to go over everything I have done to get it ready to do a full interior camper build. I replaced all the seals around the bed. I replaced the seals around the back doors. I replaced all the struts, redid all the wiring so I would have a cargo light, an interior light, and put in a brand new third brake light. So I'm going to go over all that today with you guys, how I got it all clamped down to the truck, all the work that I did to replace the seals, clean everything, get all of the dirt and grime that was in the topper when I picked it up used, get it all cleaned up. I'm going to go through that with you today, so stay tuned. This topper was in amazing shape. The last guy had used it for camping too, but due to its age, it needed some new seals, some new gas struts, and a lot of new components. I started out removing all the old seals. This took a lot of effort. I used Goo Gone and started out with a razor blade scraper, but that just wasn't proving to work very well. I switched over to using my drill with a wire brush, and that was doing the job. That was removing all the sticker residue and old seals fast. Using a heat gun worked really well also. After I heated these things up, those stickers would just peel right off. That was nice. Now that I got all the old residue off, I could prep the surface with alcohol and get ready to install the new seals. I picked up a few rolls of this weather stripping from my local box store, and it was working out really well. Now that I was done with the seals on the back doors, I could move my attention to replacing the seals between the truck bed and the topper, and the seals where the back door meets the back of the bed. This was my chance to really make sure that this topper was really sealed to the bed of the truck. I wanted to make sure I could keep dust out while I'm on dirt roads, keep water out when it rains, and just get a really good seal all around once and for all before I mount this topper on the truck and it stays here for years to come. I propped up the front of the bed with some 2x4s and got up in here so I could get the seal replaced across the front. I had to actually double it up here and do two pieces because there was an indent in the truck bed. This should seal it up really nicely though. Next on the list was new gas struts all around. Driver's side door struts were completely shot. The back doors worked a little bit, but it was just time to replace them. To get these old ones off, I just used a pick to pop that little clip off, and then the whole thing would come off. Installing the new ones was even simpler. They just snapped right into place. The struts I ended up going with are 30-pound struts. I'll put a link in the description below in case you're interested. The struts on this driver's side door weren't even strong enough to hold the door up anymore. I had to use this 2x2 to prop it up and then be careful so the door didn't fall once I removed a strut. That's it. New struts, all good to go. Door opens nicely now, holds itself open, and we can move on to the next step. Before I got the whole thing clamped back down, I wanted to give this front window a really good cleaning. It was dirty, and it took multiple times and a couple towels to get it really nice and clean. The previous owner had the topper bolted to his truck bed, but I didn't want to go with that route. I wanted to fit some strips of plywood down in this groove and then use it to clamp to the truck bed. I thought it would be handy to have the plywood there to mount future cabinets or anything to, and also it just gave it a much cleaner look. You'll see when I get finished here. You can see this gives it such a nice clean look. Now we'll do the same thing to the passenger side. Now comes the fun part, all the wiring. I picked up this third brake light off Amazon. I liked it because it has the brake light in the center and then a cargo light on each side. I can use those cargo lights to light up my camping area in the back. Once I got the surface prepped with alcohol, this thing mounted pretty easily with just a couple screws and some weather stripping behind it. Next up in the wiring, I needed to get a couple switches installed so I could power the inside LED light and the cargo lights on the back. So I found those two switches in my electrical bins, and I found this bracket in a bin of metal parts I keep around, and this worked out really well to make a mount for the two switches. all I had to do was just get everything wired up, and we could test everything before securing all the wires. Now that I had all the wiring hooked up, I installed some zip tie holders so I could zip tie all the wiring up and make it nice and secure down to where it connects to the wiring harness from the truck. Of course, I get all the wiring nice and wrapped up, and I realize I don't have any more zip ties. I wanted this all to tuck nicely down in the corner there so the wires don't ever get snagged on anything. Well, that cleaned up nicely, and I think that keeps the wiring nice and tucked out of the way, and the switch panel turned out great. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really appreciate it. Stay tuned. This is video number 1 of a full series on building this into the ultimate truck bed topper. We are going to install windows in the side doors. We're going to install a roof vent fan in the ceiling, full interior camping setup with drawer, sleeping platform, whole kitchen setup. There will be a video on a Life P04 lithium battery, solar charge controller, lithium charger for the battery, just a complete full build out on taking this used ARE commercial truck topper and turning it into an amazing truck bed camper. So I hope you stay tuned. If you like today's video, hit the like button, subscribe. I appreciate all you watching. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.